abuse. I won't give up or refuse. This is how it feels when you're bent and broken. This is how it feels when your dignity's stolen and everything you love is leaving. You hold on to what you believe in.
The last thing I heard was you whispering goodbye, and then I heard you flatline.
No, not gonna die tonight. We're gonna stand and fight forever.
Don't close your eyes.
No, not gonna die tonight. We're gonna fight for us together. No, we're not gonna die tonight. Break their hold.
Hey guys, Legendary Ghidorah here today, and bring you guys another matchup. So today I have Monster X versus the Mighty Avengers. Basically a team formed by Captain America, Falcon, okay? Now for starters, let me do some explaining on, Monster X. You're probably wondering, why do I use him instead of King Ghidorah? Now, you guys have seen my Monster X power scaling video, King of the Stars, right? Scales massively above Godzilla. Monster X is King Ghidorah. I've shown it and I pretty much proved it many times. So I like to hope you guys think that when I use Monster X, I'm using King Ghidorah as well. Except it's basically King Ghidorah personified in a Superman-like, well, not Superman, in a Martian Manhunter-like counterpart. I mean, look at him real quick. And then if you think about this, think of all the versatile things King Ghidorah has done and apply it to Monster X. Yeah, you basically would have a Martian Manhunter type character in Godzilla, which is definitely incredible and definitely dangerous, okay? It's basically Martian Manhunter if he was in Godzilla. So, let's begin. Yeah, let's begin. Basically, today I have the Mighty Avengers versus Monster X. So, let's break this down. The Mighty Avengers were a team formed by Spider-Man and Captain America Falcon, who basically made this team because, well, the Avengers were off fighting the Builders and they needed a team to, basically a response team to basically handle the work. Or basically to defend Earth until the Avengers got back. Spider-Man is the leader of the team, has super strength, capable of lifting 70 tons. He's been able to battle against Rhino, a character that goes toe-to-toe with Hulk on the regular. He's durable enough to take attacks from Lady Thor, Hercules, and a couple other characters. He's actually fast enough to react to speedsters like Blur and Speed Demon. Blur being able to move roughly faster than the speed of light, and Speed Demon, who is around Mach 4. Equipped with his Spidey sense, Spider-Man can come up with combat scenarios and strategies capable of countering their opponents. He's been able to detect invisible opponents and has been able to get a 360-degree view of his opponent, So, yeah. Spider-Man also has equipped with webbing capable of holding intangible opponents and capable of holding Hercules. So with that being said, yeah. That's Spider-Man. Power Man. Now, Power Man really isn't known to the community unless you watched Ultimate Spider-Man, but that was the Luke Cage version. We're using the Luke Evans version. You see, Luke Evans was pretty much a son of a mob boss that was eventually killed accidentally by Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Luke Evans is strong enough to battle against Luke Cage and Iron Fist at the same time, making him at least an 80 to 90 tonner. He's strong enough to send Luke Cage flying with his attacks, even knock out Luke Cage. Now, see, what makes him different from Luke Cage is the fact that he has chi manipulation. Chi manipulation is pretty much what Iron Fist does on the regular. He's been able to match Iron Fist even in hand-to-hand combat. He's durable enough to take attacks from an amped Spectrum, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, even attacks from She-Hulk. His chi punches have been able to pretty much hurt Shumagorath. So, basically, He's pretty powerful in his own right. Spectrum is the third fastest in the Marvel Universe and is a very powerful energy manipulator. She's been able to go intangible, turn invisible, manipulate radio waves, and light. She's actually light speed itself, being able to move in full-on milliseconds, even process information, and complete a task in milliseconds. Spectrum is also able to unleash powerful energy blasts capable of hurting Thor, Hulk, and Magneto. She-Hulk is really one of the strongest women in the Marvel Universe, capable of landing some good attacks on the Zeus, being able to make World War Hulk, and when she stumped Red Hulk, she actually took off a face of Mount Everest. Goodbye, President Washington. She's actually able, and actually one of the more skilled brutes in the Marvel Universe, in the same class as Thing and Colossus. She's used her skill to put down Abomination and has been able to use it to pretty much beat down Extremis Armor Iron Man. So you have that. White Tiger is one of the more dangerous women in the Marvel Universe. Armed with her magical amulet, she can channel the abilities of the White Tiger, being able to grapple and even scare unworthy Thor, who's been able to casually destroy planets. White Tiger is also able to use her magical claws to cut up and injure Shumagorath, a universal being. She's also durable enough to take attacks from Iron Fist and unworthy Thor. Luke Cage should have no explanation. That dude is definitely one of the baddest brothers in the Marvel Universe, okay? He's been able to go toe-to-toe with the Thing, send the Thing flying on multiple occasions, even match the Thing in strength. That makes him at least a 190-plus tonner. He's been able to knock out Rhino with one punch. Has been able to take attacks from the Thing, Hulk, Iron Fist, even a robot Thor named Ragnarok. He's even incredibly agile, being able to keep up with Spider-Man, even catch Spider-Man in mid-combat. Captain America passed his shield on to Sam Wilson. Equipped with Captain America's shield and his own Falcon suit, Falcon became the new Captain America. Now see, Falcon basically combines his aerial training with Captain America's shield and is really one of the most dangerous hand-to-hand combatants in the Marvel Universe. He's been able to pretty much outmaneuver War Machine, outmaneuver Iron Man in the actual comic book of Civil War, even being able to strong enough to deck helicopters with his attacks. He's also durable enough to take attacks from Jane Foster Thor. Equipped with Captain America's shield, he's been able to hold up to Jane Foster's attacks, even outmaneuver Jane Foster in the air. He's even strong enough to stagger Jane Foster in a Wonder Man amped Rogue with his punches. Although he did break his hand on both of those occasions, but that's still noteworthy of his strength, being a human. Actually, you could class him as a meta-human now in comics. And finally, Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel is literally one of the top 10 most powerful beings on Earth. His power level has been ranked with Sentry and Hulk before. In fact, he's even went on to punch Sentry into outer space, almost knocking him out. He even went against an Avengers team that had Wonder Man, Ares, Iron Man, Miss Marvel, and the Sentry on it. You can count Iron Man, Wonder Man, Ares, and Sentry as all Thor class characters. You can argue Sentry is above Thor's class. And yet he almost beat them until Sentry sucker punched him and dive bombed him from orbit. So yeah, it's safe to say Blue Marvel is pretty powerful. He was even able to beat down Anti-Man and absolutely dominate in the fight. Anti-Man was busting a team Avengers, pretty much the same I mentioned earlier, only this time they had She-Hulk added onto it. So really it was just bad. Anti-Man was basically busting that Avengers team, and then Blue Marvel comes in, shows him up, is like, hey, what's cracking? We finna do these hands, right? And then, he beat them down. He beat him down, and even went on to kill Anti-Man. Blue Marvel is even able to generate antimatter blasts. You see, even a tiny drop, the littlest dose of antimatter is equivalent to the bomb that in World War II, right, that bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Basically, a drop of that is just a nuke. Okay? Lumar was actually able to manipulate someone's electrons and molecules in their body, which is one of the reasons why he's able to cure Spectrum. He's also incredibly durable, being able to take a barrage of attacks from Sentry, and it only pissed him off. You see, Sentry was thought he could just wail on this dude and no consequences was gonna happen, but Lumar was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do you a solid. I'm gonna just punch you, and you just gonna be out of here. Comprende? What you talking about? Boom! And that's when he sent Sentry into outer space. He's even has a healing factor. He can even use his antimatter manipulation to perform powerful energy blasts and being able to produce shields capable of blocking King Hyperion, which has been able to kill multiple versions of Hulk, Thor, and Thor. Multiple versions of Hulk, Thor, and Sentries throughout the entire Marvel multiverse. So yeah, he's definitely a powerful threat at that. So that's who we have in one corner, the Avengers. But in the other corner, Monster X. Monster X is the evolved version of King Ghidorah, and actually one of the most powerful versions of King Ghidorah known to date. He was actually stated to be the most powerful monster to date by Toho. So with that being said, what has Monster X done over the years? Well, like I said before in the beginning of this video, it's basically King Ghidorah. I've even shown evidence of him transforming into King Ghidorah, or King Ghidorah turning into him. Excuse me, let me take a sip. All right, what was I? He's basically an evolved version of King Ghidorah. He's been able to crush Killmonger with his bare hands. He's been able to casually team bust the Earth Defenders, characters like Gorosaurus, Anguirus, Titanosaurus, Sanda, and Garaya, Zilla, Hedorah himself as well. He's been able to beat these characters and keep on going. He's actually incredibly durable, being able to tank the Absolute Zero cannon and attack the Earth Defenders. Makes him durable down to the molecular level. Now, Monster X possesses his trademark optic beams. These beams have been able to injure Godzilla, one-shot Kiryu. He's even a great hand-to-hand combatant, being able to outskill monsters like, Godzilla, who has hung with monsters like King Caesar. Sorry about that. He's been able to outskill Godzilla, even have his tail draw blood. So with that being said, Monster X is one of the most skilled monsters in the in the Godzilla universe. So I think it's safe to say that, it's pretty powerful. Also incredibly durable, like I said before, his Optic Blast has been able to injure Godzilla. Now, some of his key versatility, other than his Optic Blast, is that he's able to absorb energy, manipulate space and time around his opponents, even around, their energy blast, which is incredible. Which means if you fire something at him, he's going to reverse it onto you, and it's going to hurt. He's even able to turn intangible, being able to absorb energy blast through his jaws, pretty much like a vampire way. So basically, if he gets a hold of you, he can zap energy from you. So basically, he can zap the radiation from his opponents, even drain the nuclear energy out of Godzilla. He's also incredibly fast, being able to move across solar systems and galaxies in little less than a second. He's even been able to keep up with Mothra and Rodan in combat. Mothra is just as fast as time itself, and Rodan is faster than time itself. Speaking of which, Rodan's scaling video coming out very soon, coming out today actually. So I hope you guys stick around for that, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. So with that being said, you guys, that's Monster X. Being able to manipulate time, space, absorb opponents' energies through, vampire-like means and stuff like that. Excuse me. So, let's begin. And first things first, equalization. Now you guys know I love Monster X. But to me, he feels like he should be human-sized by the way he looks. Just because if he fights another monster, he will be relative to that monster in size. But against characters like these, I think it's safe to say that he should be able to fight with them. Fight with them on equal footing and they don't get a repeat of the Avengers versus Godzilla incident, you know? So, let's begin. Yeah. Now, as first things first, physicality. Now, I think it's safe to say that the Avengers have some heavy hitters on their team. Luke Cage, White Tiger, She-Hulk, Blue Marvel, especially Blue Marvel, and Power Man. Those guys are some heavy hitters. But I think it's safe to say Monster X will still be the stronger out of the two. I mean, this guy is team busting monsters that could destroy planets on the regular. I mean, I've even said it before, but you know, Monster X is basically the evolved version of King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah was already a planet to star buster. Throw Monster X in there, and with, you know, all his history with Ghidorah, he's definitely a class of solar system to galaxy level, in my opinion. He's definitely that high in power. He was even able to beat a Godzilla post the God arc, you know, where he went to God, killed God, basically became an avatar of God himself. Yeah, he was able to pretty much put a beat down and even match that version of Godzilla in the comics. So with that being said, I think it's safe to say Monster X is definitely a high tier threat, you know, to the likes of anyone, even to the likes of characters like Hulk, Thor, and definitely I'd say he would be above Sentry in terms of actual power level. So yeah, but the likes of Blue Marvel, She-Hulk, Luke Cage, and Power Man are definitely going to keep him on his toes. Now you're probably wondering, okay, why aren't you saying the fact that he blitzes is kind of, you know, it takes out two characters, that being Spider-Man and Captain America Falcon? Well, it's the fact that Spectrum is here. Spectrum's speed is a great distraction from Monster X because, you know, her speed is actually, I would have to say, she's probably even slightly faster than him. Spectrum is the third fastest in her universe, while Monster X is like fifth. He's the fifth fastest behind Varen, Batara, Mothra, and Rodan, who are the four fastest. So yeah, I would have to say that he's just behind them in terms of speed, but he's definitely no slouch, okay? He's definitely a threat when it comes to speed, and definitely is going to be able to keep up with Spectrum and definitely scare her a little with that kind of speed. Because look at this guy. Imagine this guy rushing at you, okay? Imagine that coming at you, and you're able to process that. Bro, I will be scared. I will be running for my life. Man, y'all see me pull like 45 flashes in one go. That's how fast I would be running, okay? So yeah, with that being said, yeah, I think it's safe to say Monster X would definitely be able to, you know, he definitely would be stronger. I think more durable because most of these Avengers really don't have healing factors. She-Hulk is. So yeah, I think it would be safe to say Monster X is stronger, but the likes of Blue Marvel, Luke Cage, She-Hulk, and Power Man will keep him on his toes. Monster X is not as fast as Spectrum, and, you know, stuff like that. Now, when it comes to versatility, the Avengers actually are able to balance that factor with certain members. Blue Marvel's got him down with energy manipulation, even being able to manipulate, you know, even though Monster X is able to manipulate and eat someone through gravity, I think Blue Marvel and Spectrum, with a combination of, you know, White Tiger and Power Man together, who are actually able to use their powers in combo with each other, plus the fact that Blue Marvel and Spectrum together as a fusion is definitely more powerful and definitely going to make Monster X work for that fight, is a definite factor in here. So basically they balance out the versatile factor. Now, the Avengers have a couple things going for them. The fact that they're a team. The fact that Captain America, Sam Wilson over there, the brother, is actually able to, well, is a very good strategist in his own right. Maybe not on the level in terms of actual Steve Rogers Captain America, and the fact and sorry about that, and Cyclops. But I think it's safe to say that he's a very good strategist in his own right. You know, everyone's good at something in their own right. You may not be on the same level as someone, but the fact that you're even able to even get a position as Captain America, that means you were able to bring something to the table. There was even a time where, where Captain America was about to give up the mantle. Falcon actually took forward and led the Avengers at that time period, you guys. He actually took that position, led the Avengers, and at the end of the day, boom, they came out on top. He's a very good strategist, you guys. Excuse me while I take this drink. But if you had to pull my leg, tie me up, and tell me who actually goes out first, I think it would be Power Man. Now here's why, right? So the Avengers go at it, and it's gonna go into a hand-to-hand fight at the beginning. Monster X, obviously, I think is gonna tackle in there, and Spectrum's gonna counter him, and then Blue Marvel's gonna catch him, probably slam him to the ground and stuff, and the Avengers and him, go at it. That's how I think the fight would open up. Halfway through the fight, Power Man is the most inexperienced one here, along with White Tiger. Sure, White Tiger has her fair share of fights, and so does Power Man, but they're really inexperienced heroes. Okay? That actually comes to bite you with characters of that caliber. Spider-Man, She-Hulk, Luke Cage, Captain America, and Spectrum, hope I said Spectrum earlier, are all characters that really are more experienced in that department. They know what they're doing. They know how this fight works. They know how this fight is going to play out. Well, not how this fight is going to play out, but they know what they're doing. They basically have all that years of experience under their belt, in their pants, in the back of their brains. You got characters like, Power Man and White Tiger, who are still Avengers trainees in that timeline. I think Power Man would definitely be the first one to go out, and then White Tiger, because that chi manipulation can only get you so far, and I don't think Monster X is really not the character that holds back. It's gonna be not a one-shot deal, but somewhere on the lines of where Superior Spider-Man beat Wolverine. I think it's gonna be a 1-2 combo, and then it's done. With White Tiger, I can see her lasting a bit while. But then I could also see her getting the worst out of it, because her claws are going to cut Monster X. And like I say in every video, that's going to piss somebody off. Like I said with my Avengers vs. Black Adam video, the Thing is definitely going to go out because he knows how to get them good shots in. That's going to piss somebody off, and then you're going to get pretty much demolished, destroyed at that point. Then I have to say, Captain America, he's still human, he lasts longer than the others because of his maneuverability, but take that into account with space-time distortion and manipulation. Monster X can just bring him close and be like, you really thought you was gonna play this game? Flick. Yeah, I think Falcon will go out to a flick. I mean, strength difference is pretty high, so don't aim me, don't attack me, so it is what it is, he goes out to a flick, or maybe a slap. Is that better? Probably worse. He actually goes out to it. So that being said, yeah, I think Falcon will actually go out. It would actually be worse if Monster X gets a hold of him and crushes him. I think that would be the worst thing, though. So that means we have Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Spectrum, She-Hulk, and Blue Marvel. Honestly, I figured it'd come down to this. So, who do I think goes out for the rest of this fight? I think it would be Spider-Man. Honestly, I think it would be Spider-Man. He definitely is a pain in the behind, and I think that's what's going to make Monster X go after him more. Because Spider-Man can dodge, okay? That dude has the best reflexes and is the most agile character in the Marvel Universe. You could probably rock, paper, scissors between him and Daredevil, but you know what? Spider-Man is really one of the most agile characters in the Marvel Universe. And the fact that he's doing that, Monster X is probably going to pay attention to him a lot more. Then I think She-Hulk will be able to go, will be the next to go. Not because of a physical attack, but because of her gamma radiation, making her pretty much a prime target for pretty much a snack. I mean, sure, she might enjoy it, because that's She-Hulk. She loves everything, okay? That is the girl with 21 fetishes, and she has like 50 shades of She-Hulk, okay? She might enjoy that mess. I don't know. I've read She-Hulk comics. She used to sleep with a lot of people, guys. You guys know it too. Don't even try to come at me with that. She used to sleep with a lot of people, okay? So yeah, I think Monster X would definitely absorb her gamma radiation. I think he would get a hold of her, definitely outmaneuver, maybe even, restrain the Avengers, most of them with space-time distortion, maybe send them all flying with a thundercrap, grab She-Hulk, and begin to suck the life out of her. I mean, suck the gamma radiation out of her. Sorry. Ooh. She probably would suck him after. I'm just saying. I mean, they probably would sleep with each other after this battle. I'm just saying. She-Hulk is just, thirsty like that. But anyway, that's not the point. This is a fight, not a thirsty contest. So yeah, we have that, and I think Monster X would absorb the gamma radiation out of her, and that would give him the much needed boost to pretty much put this fight out of commission. Next off, Luke Cage. Luke Cage is good, but oh man, I think just like I said with Black Adam and the Thing, I think Luke Cage gets those shots in, and then he gets put a beat down on. I mean, Luke Cage is known for his beatdowns. I mean, he's one of the most durable Marvel characters for his tier. Just like the Thing and Colossus are some of the most durable Marvel characters out there, because they can take a beatdown. They can take hits for days. But the fact is, Monster X is going to get pissed at Luke Cage, and then he's going to beat him down. No if, and, or buts about it. He gets beaten down completely. Super hard. Gets decimated. He gets the combo, okay? He gets the Hulk versus Gladiator incident. When Hulk pretty much, got the jump on I said Gladiator. Jump on Gladiator, and was able to like boom, bam, beat him into the ground. Basically that incident, okay? Basically stuff like that, and it would be just brutal for Luke Cage. Luke Cage will survive, but he gets a beat down. Next thing you know, I would have to say it comes down to, oh wow, it actually came down to, like I said, Blue Marvel. Well, not like I said, like I predicted. Blue Marvel and Spectrum. I think it's safe to say that it would have came down to that, okay? I think it would come down to it anyway. Blue Marvel and Spectrum individually would lose. Together, however, when Blue Marvel and Spectrum fuse, they produce, one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe, okay? This should actually be a meme where Goku and Vegeta do the fusion dance, but you have like Blue Marvel Spectrum face on them. Because that's what they do. They're able to amp each other during the course of this fight, and they'll keep Monster X on his toes. Even when they combine together, I think that'll be the, best fight Monster X has had on that level. They're able to increase each other back and back. They'll get stronger. Monster X, being an energy vampire, basically, will get stronger during the course of the fight because, well, I could see him, locking with Spectrum Marvel, Blue Spectrum. I'm gonna call it that with the fusion of those two, Blue Spectrum. I could see him doing that and then trying to like bite or at least get a good absorption on them. He's able to absorb an opponent's life energy, and I think that'll amp him during this fight. So I think that fight would continue a long time. Maybe he's able to, hit them so hard they diffuse, kind of like Dragon Ball type stuff right there. And then maybe Spectrum gets knocked out, and then it comes down to him and Blue Marvel. I think that is a solid fight. I think Blue Marvel can got hands. Okay, I'll admit. Blue Marvel, the brother can put up a fight. All right. At the end of the day, though, I think Monster X is going to take it. And I think it's going to be because of stamina. Now, Blue Marvel, yeah, did fight the Avengers, did hold his own. But when Sentry was able to dive bomb him, it took him out of the fight. They both were tired. They both were exhausted. So if it came down to something, I'd say it would have to be stamina. Monster X has more stamina. Blue Marvel has good stamina, but it will eventually tire out. And with that being said, I think Monster X would take this match with high difficulty. But let me know what you guys think. Please comment down below, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Peace.